as you do and do throughout the years. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. I'm one of your hosts, the SC Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, and to my, got it right this time, my boy, the home of the Brown Crackers and the congregation, my brother, man, the other half of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, RaiderTwuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, 2-for-1 Nation podcast, two brothers for one nation, and y'all know it's the Raider Nation. Blessings to everybody, especially the congregation.
That's a fact, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. We appreciate everybody that's tuning in right now, and of course, that tunes in after the show as well. And blessings, and hopefully everybody's having a great week. Little things have been a little bit dry out there. There's been some things that came out, but the grind never stops, and hey, the topics never stop some way somehow. And we got some topics to talk about, all the way from what's coming up in the next coming days to some press conferences that have happened that had, some prior players talking. And then obviously we had two press conferences, I think, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday or the day before that, where it had to do with people like Jack Jones and those people. So of course we're gonna talk about all of that. But let me shout out the chat, man. You guys are what makes us, man, and stuff like that, man. You already know what it is. Shout out to Raider Paul in the building. Oh, let me get it out. Hold on. I didn't even have it ready. Here we go. Shout out to Raider Paul in the building. What's good? Raiders Rebel in the building. Salute, family. What it be? What's good, Rebel? Good to see you. Cool Kev in the building. What's good, Cool Kev? SoCal South. Salute to you. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hope all is well. Let me see. Shout out to Auntie Six in the building. What's good, Auntie Six? What's good, Dark? Salute. Let me see. Continuing down. And you see Nightbot. Finally, Nightbot's working, man. Finally, Nightbot on my side is working. You feel me?
Right.
He's finally working. He's finally working, man. But shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody. Hopefully I don't skip anybody. Shout out to everybody that's in here so far, man. You already know what it is. And as you see here, man, hit that like button for the both of us. Subscribe if you're new. If you don't see somebody's comment, it's probably because they're on the other channel. So make sure to hit that like button. Pushes out the algorithm, pushes out the live to more people, get more people in here. And yeah, there's no Bunny Ranch command. But starting off, man, let's start off, man, with let's talk about this week, before we get on to next week, because obviously June 1st is right around the corner. Actually, June 1st is over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I think it is. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Jalen coming in. What's good? Good to see you. Shout out to Kevin. We need Xavier and Howard. Shout out to you, man. We'll get to that post June 1st stuff right now. But let's start off with the press conference that happened, and one of the notable ones. And shout out to Randy coming in. You already know, man. Josh Jacobs. I didn't think things will emerge, and things have. And Nightbot messed up. Let me delete that. I had a command, and let me say this real quick. I had a command that makes the Nightbot welcome you when you say salute, but apparently it didn't work. I didn't code it right. So that's why you see this. That's we see that return code. So I would go fix that. But Twuan, talk to me, man, about, I mean, in general, all the press conferences, man. But we all know one of the notable ones that have been going around has been the Josh Jacobs one. Talk to me your thoughts on it, man, and stuff like that if you have seen it.
About the Josh Jacobs, y'all, you got to break it down for me more. I think the gist of what I heard was that Josh Jacobs is trying to pull DA over to Green Bay, and I don't know if there's anything else outside of that. You know, what I'm saying,
Hmm.
y'all might have to break that down even more to me. But what stuck out to me this past week is those press conferences. Um, from not just the players. You know, I know a lot of people get excited about hearing from the players, but the press conferences from um, the coaching staff, specifically for me, what stuck out was Marvin Lewis. And I we talk about the swagger of this team. We talk about the culture of this team. We talk about how things are starting to really look nice and seem like it's trending towards in the right direction, right? I think that Marvin Lewis, um, they tried to ask him what his job title was, and he was like, "Hey, pretty much I just do what I'm told. You know what I'm saying, and I just do whatever is asked of me. If they want me to speak, I'll speak. If they don't want me to speak, I don't speak." And I think he's playing his role, but I think his role is very key in all aspects, not just for Antonio Pierce, but even having Patrick Graham have somebody that he can bounce, what I'm saying, ideas off of. Patrick Graham is trying to solidify a dominant defense. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to set up his own defensive culture here. You know what I'm saying? So why not ask Marvin Lewis, a head coach,
Yeah.
a coach that actually was a person that created that type of
Hmm.
defensive culture. You know what I'm saying? So I was really excited to hear from him, and I'm of course I'm on the Jack Jones bus. So anytime he
Yeah.
talks about Jack Jones and the way Jack Jones acts is definitely a positive in regards to um, what we're doing here. So that's what stuck out to me. The other coaches were actually also good too. So if you have not watched that press conference, go ahead and check that out.
Facts. And shout out to everybody coming in, man. Shout out to Omar in the building. What's good? My 2 cents. Salute. Good to see you guys, man. Kevin, what's good? Don't be surprised if Josh Jacobs is back with us after this year. He basically on a 1 year deal. We'll talk about it right now on that press conference too. And shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. But of course, talking about the press conferences, obviously Marvin Lewis, I've talked highly about him. It's a guy that obviously would make the roster itself better. And, just alone with his knowledge and the knowledge of the game and his experience, he makes the team better. Coaching matters. At the end of the day, coaching matters, and I'll forever say that. There's a reason why some rookies don't pan out is because they don't have the right coaching, and they go down a path where they don't end up reaching their potential, because a lot of these draftees and stuff like that have high potential. We always hear they have high potential, they have raw talent, but all they need is somebody to mold them. And sometimes some trash coaches wouldn't be able to do that, but somebody like Marvin Lewis could easily do that, especially on the defense side of the ball. And then you go on to the other press conferences that happen. Obviously, um, they've been what we expected. Jack Jones came out and said he doesn't care about what anybody thinks about him. Like, he said it respectfully. He's like, I don't care what the media says about me. I'm gonna go out there and play my game. I'm gonna play it to the fullest, and that's the type of things you do. And then on top of that, which obviously, um, and not to go a little bit off topic, but I wanted to hear your thoughts on this before I forget, because I forgot to talk about this individually on my individual show. Maxx Crosby gets a raise. That kind of shows the character of this foundation of this team. It kind of shows the foundation of what the coaches are building. And just on the topic of Marvin Lewis and these people, they're pretty much with that raise saying, "Hey, if you're out there putting in the work and we see that, we gonna give you money." What you feel about that Maxx Crosby raise, man? What does that show to the locker room?
There's a few things that we need to talk about in regards to that, and I didn't talk about this either, so that's
Mm-hmm.
perfect. That's
Mm-hmm.
perfect that we're talking about it right now and breaking it down. Um, One thing, and let's be honest, when Maxx Crosby did sign that contract, the dollar amount that he got was still below what he was actually deserving to get in regards to the market. Some people feel like, oh, he's getting paid too much, and these players are getting paid too much, and that's your Raider gospel on the situation. But when you break down when Max Crosby initially signed that contract, everybody else that was getting contracts and everybody that was getting paid, they were getting paid more than what Max Crosby was getting at that time.
Mhm.
So we were already getting him on a cheap contract for signing him for that amount of money. So um, it's beneficial that we see now with Max Crosby getting what was due him. You know what I'm saying, in regards to the dollar amount. I also will say this in regards to the Crosby contract
Yeah.
is Telesco. He said that he was going to take care of the players, take care of his players. Again, here goes another sign of of Telesco doing exactly what he said he was
I
going
was
to
gonna
do.
do.
A lot of these guys, and not just only Telesco, but our head coach Antonio Pierce, we don't have to worry about are they pulling the wool over our heads and all of that stuff. I would say a good 95% of the stuff that these guys have said, they've delivered on. You know what I'm saying? Or they've tried to deliver on. And they've let you know, hey, we tried to, but this is where we had to go. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that they're straight shooters. They're telling us
Yeah.
exactly how they're trying to go about it. And that works. Also, that works for us as fans, but that also works for those guys in the locker room. When Antonio Pierce tells you, hey, you suck and you need to you know what I'm saying, step up your game because you might get cut. That
Mhm.
ain't no play that he ain't saying that for play. He's saying that for real. You know what I'm saying? Or he's saying if he's telling you, hey, we believe in you. We're gonna work with you. That's exactly what he's doing. Some of these players that we think, hey, they need to get rid of, they're saying, hey, we believe in these guys. You know what I'm saying? And they're showing it. So it works well for the fans, but it also works well for the players. So I don't. And I was going to ask you this because
Mhm.
I you're better than me in regards to contracts. Did this leave some room in our cap space by giving him
Mhm.
this, or was it just a hey, we just gonna give it
I,
to
I
you and
think I think it's just a raise, and let me shout out the chat before I answer your question real quick. Before I don't catch up real quick. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. I see Omar, we'll get to that right now. We'll get to that right now. I see you commenting. We'll get to that right now. Don't worry. But yeah, Raiders take care of the core players. Shout out to anonymous Raiderette. There's a reason I got blocked. I'm not sure. I don't think you did. Maybe it's YouTube tripping. We don't really block people unless they're like rude or something, right? So I doubt it was any of my mods, and I don't do it. So I doubt it. I think it's just some YouTube shit, but you should be good. You should be good. As I could see here. Salute to you. Hope all is well with you. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. See everybody. Mike Lopez, what's good? We'll get to the post June first right now. Mike Lopez, don't worry. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hopefully I didn't skip anybody. Toby Chile, what's good, Chile? Good to see you. SVT Vasquez in the building. What's good, man? Hey, drive safe, brother. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to Circus Raider, our fellow troll in the building. Boop Telesco Boo AP Rattler was available at 13. I the best player available in drafting a tight end. Master Session. Shout out to Circus Raider in the building. Good to see everybody in here, man. Blessings, blessings. And sorry if I skipped you. Hey, comment again, man. Shout out to everybody in here, man. And make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. And then we're also simulcasting. So if you don't see somebody's chat, it's probably because they're on the other channel. But of course, to answer your question about it, so pretty much that I know on the basis of the structure, there is a raise. Um, it kind of affects the cap space, but not tremendously. It's not like 20 million got cut
yeah.
off. It's like a little bit of money. Also, they put the 1.5 mil, I believe it's 1.5 mil onto 2025. So they did push something backwards, which is beneficial. But at the same time, we have a lot of cap space still left in the bank that is left from the 2023-2024 season, which is good, which gets carried on into the 2024-2025 season, which you could use that money to extend players, obviously, moving forward. And also, we'll talk about it right now, even free agents that come in.
The,
So it benefits us, and it also shows like, hey, we're gonna reward you for putting in work and
Mm.
being here and wanting to play for the Shield.
There's definitely, and as you're talking about that, just in my head, I think that's the best thing. That's the best situation for us because there is going to be some contracts coming up, and we've talked about it here because and then I've also broken down on my channel, of the guys that we're going to have to look at re-signing. Spillane is coming up. Merrick's coming up. You know what I'm saying? And these are key pieces to our team. You know what I'm saying? Diablo, if people feel like he needs to come back. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other guys that we need to start looking at. And Maxx Crosby, and I'll say this, Maxx Crosby is like a savings account in
Yeah.
regards to the Raiders because we know Maxx Crosby ain't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So you can keep pushing that money back. He ain't going nowhere. And we're going to have him for another good, you know what I'm saying, 10 years. If he wants to play for another 10 years, and it's going to be perfectly fine. So I think that might be the move in regards to, you know, uh, retaining guys, but also playing that cap situation. If Mark Davis has a couple of more M's in account, he can throw that over to Maxx Crosby and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna throw you 5 early, and then we're gonna add that to what I'm saying, our cap." So there's a lot of ways to play around with it, and I think Maxx Crosby, maybe even every year, might be that guy that restructures or whatever just to make sure that we got a good flow. And I think Telesco's also has that money mindset. So in years to come, you know what I'm saying, if Telesco is still here, hopefully we'll be really rolling in the money cap wise.
Facts. And they're doing great moves, man. I think it just shows the character and what these coaches are bringing, and the general manager brought in what they're bringing as well. Um, when it comes down to it, you look at these things and you're like, damn, I've never seen this before with us. And it's a good thing. It's a positive, like, damn, we never seen this before. So obviously, transitioning from Maxx, hey, congrats to Maxx, well deserved, man. Puts in the work. Some may say the face of the franchise, some people may say right now, but obviously he puts in the work every day, man, and he's actually helping everybody. He's not being selfish, he's helping everybody. Example, Tyree Wilson, right? Perfect example there, of him mentoring these guys and stuff. He doesn't have to do that. There's a lot of veterans out there that don't like doing that, but Maxx Crosby's taking his time to mentor everybody and help everybody, and he even takes learning experience too and getting chemistry. So obviously, shout out to Maxx. Just had to talk about that real quick because I haven't yet. Well deserved. Shout out to All Eyes on G in the building. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Blessings. Please hit that like button, push out the algorithm. Greatly appreciate it. And Randy, I didn't know that. I didn't check the full things. But hey, if it gives us a cap break this year, hey, that's good. That's good, right? Eric, thoughts on Waller's new song? I haven't heard it, and I'm glad I haven't heard it. I feel like it would be a waste of multiple minutes of my life. Shout out to All Eyes on G, though. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. But obviously, go on.
Is he rapping about his divorce?
It's probably some heartbreak song.
You know what I'm saying? It might be a diss track. You know what I'm saying? He might be a little spicy about, you know what I'm saying, about the plum not being in his grocery store. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Anthony Estrada in the building. What's good? Rod Gas, salute. So moving on to one of them, and I seen Omar already talk about it. Let's talk about it, bro. Might as well, because it has to do with one of our own players, and it's something to talk about, right? So, ex-player of ours, a guy that is highly, you would say, in recent time, one of the most controversial players in recent time, next to Derek Carr and stuff like this, because the nation is split on this guy. I see a lot of people saying F him and screw him and screw what he says and stuff like that. Then I see other half saying, hey, we're over exaggerating, stuff like that. I don't know if you heard that the quotes, Twuan, by any chance, before we continue with this topic. So let me read you the quotes, okay? I'm gonna read you the exact quotes because I don't want to give you false information. Let me pull out the quotes real quick.
Yeah, and while you pull them up, the reason why I haven't really been following Josh Jacobs is because he ain't a Raider. And at this point, I already know what it's going to be when X's are away, I've been talking about it for the long about this whole situation in regards to Josh Jacobs. Just let him be. Just let him be.
The only reason why I seen it is because a lot of Raider places that drop news dropped it. That's what
Mhm.
it is, and all over
Yeah.
Twitter. So here's the quotes of what he said. One of them was just to be somewhere stable, and this was his thoughts on joining the Packers after obviously joining the Packers. He goes, just to be somewhere stable and be at a place where you feel wanted. It definitely brings joy back to the game. And the other quote that he said was, and this is him on talking to Davante Adams. He said, when I came out here, I sent him the little eye emoji. So it's like two eyes looking, right? Emoji. I said, you thinking about coming back? Question mark. But man, he loved it. Those are the quotes by Josh Jacobs out of the horse's mouth, because it does come with the press conference he said it in. What you feeling, Twuan? I see you shaking your head. Talk to me, man. Talk to me. Yes, this one.
I
This one.
to be honest with you, I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that it's going to be a constant battle all season. He's going to have his little side comments in regards to, the Raiders or whatever. And, we offered him a contract, you know what I'm saying? And we offered, I think the contract we offered him was fair, but we got the price that the Packers, gave him obviously was a better, better money wise, So can I be mad at it? No. You know what I'm saying? And business is business. And Josh Jacobs has to understand that. Now, in the sense of people wanting you more or, feeling wanted, obviously you're going to feel wanted if a team is going to pay you. You know what I'm saying? I would be wanted at McDonald's if McDonald's was throwing me, a good check. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be wanted at, at Burger King, and anybody could have it their way if they was throwing it, throwing M's at me or whatever. Like that's the obvious. Now, him trying to pull Davante Adams, I see the parallels because again, Davante Adams was on the rush and he was talking about, oh, I didn't know that, Jordan Love was going to be Jordan Love and what I'm saying and all of that, and he did look over at what Green Bay was having, but like just because you went over there doesn't mean that everybody else has to go over there with you.
Yeah.
Like, just and that's why I'm just over it. Like, you can hit me on Twitter at RaiderTwuan or whatever, and whatever, it don't matter. Like, you're not here. We got something over here. We're still trying to figure out. I'm not saying it's a solidified option at running back for us, but business is business and we got to move on. So you can be bitter, you can be mad all you want. And again, just keep running your lip and hopefully things work out for you over there. But we
Shout out
got
to
things going on over here.
Fact. Shout out to Dirty Eric. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hopefully I don't skip anybody. Hey, comment again if I skipped you by accident. Shout out to Detroit God in the building. What's good, Detroit? Abel Gomez was good. Trade for Derek Carr. God damn. It is what it is for all eyes. Um, my take on it, obviously it's a talking point. It requires our players and stuff like that. And it was talked about the Raiders. And this press conference, I'm not gonna diss them. I'm not gonna call them any type of slander or cussing words, but I will say it gives me a clear idea on why he's not a Raider and why they let him go off the building and didn't fight for him. It kind of shows me. It kind of gives me more of a clear view on why he was let go, right? And it doesn't look like it was because his play on the field. Because his play on the field, there's no doubt in my mind that it was good. It was good. It was good play. He played good. There's no doubt in my mind that he was one of the best running backs when healthy, when he was there practicing and stuff like that. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But you kind of see the off the field stuff. That's probably why he didn't get paid or get paid what he wanted here at the Raiders, and why they didn't keep him. And it is what it is. hey, good luck. Whatever's not really. I mean, not really. We got a better team this year, so I'm happy. I don't care. But obviously, when these things get talked about, it gives the media fuel on what to talk about. So it is what it is. But you know,
And and like you said, Eric, I think we dodged the bullet. You know what I'm saying? Antonio Pierce has said it clearly that he's the guard at the gate. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that are going to be here, there's a certain mentality. Out of all the players that we have listed on our roster, what player is being a diva? You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Like you might say Devontae Adams, but is not Devontae Adams out there making hella noise and creating drama? And you know what I'm saying? We got drama free guys in here. You know what I'm saying? And
mhm.
I think, again, like you said, I think we kind of dodged the bullet because we ain't got no drama over here. And Josh Jacobs is obviously, it seems like he's one of those ones that likes to have a little drama to his life.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Like I said, and just the talking point. Hey, at the end of the day, he's not a Raider. And it is what it is. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. Maybe it was the organization. Maybe it was him. We'll never know. But all we know is, the Raiders got better. We got better. In general, let me emphasize that.
Yeah.
As a team, we got better. Okay. I'm not saying the running back room got better because the running back room is not, I would say, not proven yet. Not proven yet, but
Mm.
it has potential. Right. It has high potential. So we gotta wait what happens and stuff like that. But I will say our team as a whole got better. Coaching staff wise as well. Uh, and then obviously, like Detroit God says, good luck with his life, good luck with his family. Business is business, man. I know he's got a lot of kids, so good luck to that and stuff like that. Hope everything's well there. Um,
Child support is a mug.
yeah, only person being a diva is Tay, but even he's nowhere close to a diva. Another wide receiver has been over the years. Yeah, like B and stuff like that. We gotta open them gates though. We don't gotta open them gates. Um, watch Jimmy G take the Rams deep into the playoffs. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. But moving on here to some more
I forgot he
prediction.
was over there.
Yeah, I forgot he was the backup.
Back up.
I think Gardner Minshew seems cocky, maybe, but I could be wrong. It's just the way he presents us. He's just a jokester. He's just an
Yeah.
upbeat guy. That's just what his character is. He might come across a little bit like arrogant or something, but he's more of like a upbeat, have fun, joke around, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They talk good about Gardner Minshew. I think it was Maxx Crosby, stuff like that. They're talking good about him, like he's a good teammate. He's helping people out. He's there. He knows that he's in competition, but at the same time, that doesn't stop him from helping. It's not like that Ryan Tannehill whole fiasco where the veterans didn't want to help the rookie because they were battling for the same position. It's different here, so it's good to see that. Shout out to James Purple. You already know what it is. Let me play it. Hold on. Yep. Shout out to you, man. And of course, we move on here. To the post June 1st. Post June 1st is right around the corner. I believe over the weekend. Over the weekend, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if you don't know what post June 1st is, post June 1st is where some cuts happen, some small cuts happen, like 3 or 4 players somewhere around the lines. And on top of that, you'll be able to cut certain players in order to pretty much open cap space, and as well you get cap space that for the people that you already made a post June 1st cut, like Jimmy Garoppolo. On that topic, more than 20 million has been added to our books as of post June 1st. Once post June 1st happens, that money will be allocated to our salary cap, meaning around 20, 19 mil, 18 mil of that, because of course they take out some money for the NFL. It's like 18, 19 mil gets added alone from Jimmy Garoppolo. That would then further our cap space in furthering us getting free agents or contract extensions. Twuan, talk to me. What you think about the moves post June 1st? What is going to happen? What would you predict?
Let's go. I'm so excited about the post June 1st. Why? Because we got some money to play with. We got some things that we can add. There's some guys that might still be out there. You know what I'm saying? We know with the post June 1st, there's players you can pick up, but there's also guys that are leaving from other teams, and you know are there is the risk of, do those guys still have it as to why they're getting cut, or is it really a money situation? There is going to be players out there, it's going to be strictly a money situation. Teams are not going to be able to afford, you know what I'm saying, to keep that person on the roster. And this is going to be our opportunity just to pick up those one or two guys, and I think it's really just going to be one or two guys that we can get to add on to what we have here, and I think we'll be good to go. I really do think so. And again, we will have the money to use, and we have money now, but we adding to the Jimmy G contract and some of those
Yeah.
other ones that are coming off is going to add even more money that we can play with, and possibly even do like we did in free agency, possibly get one of the bigger fish
Yeah.
coming out of the post June, because that's what we did in free agency. We got the biggest fish in free agency, which was Wilkins, our D tackle. So I'm looking at corner. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm looking at corner right there, because and stay tuned, because I'm gonna be breaking some stuff down on my channel.
Mhm.
But stay tuned, because if we get that corner, man, that defense is going to be something real. It's already, our defense is already scary as it is, but if you add a solidified corner on that opposite side, we are going to be a problem.
Mhm.
Especially the way Jack Jones was talking in his press conference. He's already saying that pretty much he's the best corner in the league, and
Yeah.
and and, and I'm with that energy. Go out there and show us that you actually that guy.
Facts. Let me get to some of the chat before I go. We get our bag from Jimmy Saturday, June 1st. I believe it gets allocated June 2nd though.
Yeah.
I believe June 2nd, but it's called post June 1st, obviously, because it is post June 1st. I just like to see, and he gets to really prove himself. That's a fact. AP will beat up Minshew if he gets out of line. He'll beat up anybody if they get out of line, right? And you seen it, right? For example, Jack Jones didn't want to play for Bill Belichick, didn't want to play for the Patriots no more, and people called him lack of effort. And then he came over here, and he's cool with the Tony Pierce, and Jack Jones ended up being free and playing his game. So I'm glad for that. I'm good off Campbell. He's too old at this point, but I'm down for Howard. Okay, Campbell had 56 tackles, 6 sacks in 2023. Yeah, he's getting older though. I mean, very, very low vet minimum, maybe, right? I'll take into consideration the real MVP offseason were the team doctors who prescribed Jimmy G some medication that he never reported, freed up even more cap for us. That's a fact. That's a fact. It's out there being here, man. Let me see. Just trying to catch up to some of the chat. Minshew takes AOC to the bunny ranch. God damn, cool, Kev. But obviously, for me, I believe we might make a move the first week of the June 1st. So June 1st is over the weekend. I believe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, some move will happen. Some type of move with money. Free agents, maybe, or a look at free agents, or a meeting, or even you could consider a contract extension talk starting to become a thing. Obviously you got to lock down some of these guys and stuff like that earlier, so you don't have to pay them more later. Or you could just open up the talks and be like, hey, we're willing to bring you back, man. We want to see how you are this year and stuff like that. Obviously with the money we have, but I want a free agent. There's still a lot of notable free agents out there. um, just off the top of my mind, just looking at some of the free agents right here, the cornerback room obviously is the number one. Just like Twuan said, the number one thing for me, I think we need a veteran corner. Not saying our cornerback room is really weak. I believe that they're good, and I believe they have a lot of potential, but we do need to mix in some veterans there, especially some older veterans. And just looking at the list here, let me try to get it. Here we go. You still have Xavier Howard, Adoree Jackson, Stephon Gilmore, Steven Nelson, Patrick Peterson, J.C. Jackson, Witherspoon, Eli Apple, Chandon Sullivan, Fabian Moreau, Jerry Jacobs, and obviously Michael Jackson, but he is got tendered, RFA, restricted free agent tendered, so he's probably off the market. So some notable names here: Stephon Gilmore, Xavier Howard, JC Jackson are the three people we have been linked to the most. JC Jackson being the most recent one. And now JC Jackson is an interesting one that I wanted to bring up. We obviously talk about the Xavier Howards, the Stephon Gilmore's, but the JC Jackson topic I want to bring up and see your thoughts on it. How you feel about JC Jackson?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, he's a young corner. I think there might be still something there. Again, I've been on tape and said that I'm an advocate for Stephon Gilmore coming in. I think Stephon Gilmore is the best look in regards to veteran. Saying a guy that other guys can go to and get some knowledge of just he's a student of the game and studies tape very well, and I think that'll help our younger corners kind of get up to speed. But JC, I'm cool with that too. I just want to name, to be honest with you, somebody that, and when I say a name, I'm talking about when a quarterback steps back, he has to think, oh, J.C. Jackson is on that side, or oh, Stephon Gilmore's on that side. You know what I'm saying? It's not just I'm just gonna throw because my guy's open. Like I want that quarterback to think before he has to throw. And if you get one of those guys, that's what happens. And what are you doing? You're setting up Jack Jones on the other side, and we know what Jack Jones does. He jacks the ball. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you throw it to his side. He might actually be the interception leader. You know what I'm saying? Because if they decide to stay away from whoever's on that other side. So
yeah,
um, I'm kind of fine with whoever Patrick Graham truly believes is going to get the job done. And like I said, it's going to work for us if we just get that other piece. The dark horse that's already here and people don't talk about it is Brandon Faison. Now, some people believe in him, some people don't, and that's up to you guys on
hmm
how you guys feel about him. I would like him to be a solidified depth piece to where if one of our guys goes down, we know Brandon Faison can go in there and help us out in that efforts. I don't feel like Brandon Faison can be that all the time, full time corner. So that's my personal beliefs, but that's also a guy that even some of our players, like Maxx Crosby and so have also Nate Hobbs also talked about facing too. So
yeah.
there's some positives there too. So we'll see.
Facts, man. And shout out to everybody, man. What about Yannick? I think Yannick is a guy that I think he wants to start, and we're just not a place where he could start. He's more of a depth piece for us. And being a depth piece and a rotational piece, um, you would have to pay him like a rotational piece. And I don't think he wants a rotational piece of money because he had a decent last 2 seasons, man. He wants to get a little bit paid, at least a little bit. And we're not willing to do that for a rotational piece. He says JC Jackson on minimum wage, and I'll be fine with it. Eli Apple with the clown face. I know, no more Eli Apple, bro.
You
Coon, oh, go ahead.
No, in regards to the Yannick, because that was
Mhm.
what the other guy talked, our brother talked about. In regards to Yannick, I think that would be lovely to have Yannick here because we know that he would be
Mhm.
that pass rush force, and we know what he can bring to the table. But to what you guys are saying in regards to hit the dollar amount, it's going to be on the low amount because I think Kuntz already solidified himself as that opposite side of Maxx Crosby. So
Mhm.
I and then also with the reports because I had Tyree Wilson being that guy at D tackle, but it seems like the indicator is that he's going to be bounced on the outside too. So now you have Tyree and Kuntz that are going to be fighting for what I'm saying, snaps on the outside. So
Mhm.
I don't know if specifically if there's really room for a Yannick kind of
Yeah,
player. You know what I'm saying? You might bring a defensive end, but you know what I'm saying? That defensive end, if we bring him in, is definitely going to be a rotational.
rotational.
And he's going to have to be fine with being that rotational because there's going to be some other guys like a Tyree Wilson and a Kuntz that are possibly going to be ahead of him in that depth chart situation. So that's the only situation with Yannick.
Facts, man. And shout out to Dark, man. You already know. Um, He also got a YouTube channel. I don't know when the hell he's gonna go live. He still hasn't answered somebody's question in the chat. So that means he's gonna go live whenever he feels like it. So shout out to Darkman. Shout out to Raider Kev coming in, man. It was good, Raider Kev. And yes, all lies. Thank you for calling me out because I was gonna get on that. I did cut face on last show. I did as an early prediction. The only reason why is because I don't know. I'm the opposite of Twuan. I don't really. I'm on the fence of not really much faith on Faison because of two reasons. One, he's been injured, so I haven't even seen how he would come back. And number two, when he did play, I got scared. And what I mean by I got scared is every time I see the ball thrown at him, I got scared because either that shit was gonna look like a touchdown or a first down, or sometimes he would make a play, but it was scary to the point where it wasn't more of the other. It was like really 50-50, and it was scary. So for me, I cut face on personally in my early roster predictions pre June 1st, pre whatever we bring in, pre all this. He is my, I hate to say this, but it could be a benefit because at the end of the day, this guy that I wanted to get cut for multiple years has proven and has shut me up. So hopefully that happens with Faison. He's one of those guys that shuts me up. This is my new Amik Robertson. And,
I was about to say that.
and for the people that know and have been here will know what that reference is. I was one of the biggest haters on Amik Robertson, and I'm proudly to say that because at the end of the day, I ain't scared to say when I'm wrong. I'm not gonna go back on my word or anything. I was a guy that wanted Amik Robertson cut at times because his play was always iffy to me. And I felt like we had better corners. Now, was I wrong? Yes. Okay. I was 100% wrong, and I'll continue to say that. He was one of those players I was wrong about. He kept showing me grit, and that grit could get you a long way in the NFL, and he showed it. When he makes a bad play, he comes out and is like, hey, I'm not going to make that bad play again. And kind of Devontae has kind of said it and stuff like that, that he never seen somebody with that mindset like a Meek had, and stuff like that. So obviously I was wrong about a Meek and stuff like that. But he's gone, so maybe I was right in some sense, right? So I mean, who knows? But obviously Faison is one of those guys that I just don't have that much faith in, just because of the injuries coming back and stuff like that. I haven't seen too much of a resume or anything to really put my head on there. On the shoulders of him. But at the end of the day, if he's a guy that they believe in and that is putting in work and that is going to come in here and give us good depth to that cornerback, then I'm all for it. I would never diss that. I believe in the coaching staff, so whatever the coaching staff believes in, I believe in. At the end of the day, if they come out and say, hey, Faison has been one of the most outstanding players at training camp, I'm gonna take their word for it, because this coaching staff has not gave me a reason to not trust them. And that's how it is for me in life in general. If somebody doesn't give me a reason to not trust them, then obviously I have no reason to not trust them, right? And that's how it is with this coaching staff. They haven't given me a reason to not trust them. And it's the same thing goes for how it was with Josh McDaniels. He gave me multiple reasons to not trust him. And look at what happened. So
Yeah.
obviously we're gonna see what happens. Shout out to C Boogie Brown. He says Faison is Tom Telesco's UDFA from San Diego. Okay.
Faison was the biggest, and like you said, it's the injury thing for me. You know what I'm saying, in regards to Faison, and that's why I can't trust him being that. He can't be a one for me. You know what I'm saying, because of the injury situation. Every time we thought, okay, Faison's going to go in there, we trot out Faison thinking that he's going to, do what he needs to do at corner. He ends up getting hurt, and then we don't have him. So I rather have him be in the depths, you know what I'm saying, and risk it that way than they say, oh, he's gonna be opposite side of Jack Jones, and then all of a sudden we're in week 3 and Faison's, you know what I'm saying, MIA for reasons that we know of injury. So that's my thing with Faison, and that's it.
But yeah, like Boogie said there, that's a good point there. I didn't even know that. So that kind of gives another aspect of, hey, maybe you feel me, he stays on the roster because he's their guy, right? He sees something, I know. And at the end of the day, it's a proven general manager, right? For talent. At the end of the day, you say what you say about the Chargers. The only thing he did bad with the Chargers was his contract negotiations. But we got people to do the contract negotiations for us. For him, he's a guy that always scouted talent, and he's had great players for the Chargers. It's just the fact that they always choke. They had bad coaches, and on top of all that, they were injury prone. They got injury prone, and that's something out of his control. But when you really look at his resume, he brought in players that had talent. So maybe, hey, maybe he knows something that I don't know about face on, and that's why I'm not a general manager, right? I could only give my opinion on what I see, and at the end of the day, I hope he succeeds because that means, hey, one less problem, one less position of need or stuff like that, and it really helps us and it benefits us, right? Abel says season predictions over under 500. Oh, I think this is easy for both of us, bro. I think that, over, way over 500. I think. Oh wait, not way over 500. I'm gonna say over 500, over 500. Because I have 11 wins personally, but I have the realistic output is 10, and then the worst case scenario is 9, which is still over 500. So I got the over. What you thinking?
I'm look. We I think we're in a position where we're going to be over, and just for the fact that I think we're going to be better. I I don't see where our offense is going to be worse than what it was last year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be that's our huge question mark is what our offense is going to bring to the table. I think our defense is what our defense is. I don't think that's a flash in the pan. I think our defense is really what it is, and I think it's actually going to be better. Um, so yeah, I have them going over.
That's a fact. Shout out to Sinister. Shout out to Gregor John in the building. Was good. Was good. I optimistically say 10 and 7. I feel that. I said the most realistic would be 10. I believe we'll have a better season than last season. 11 was with that quarterback. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad somebody that doesn't like the quarterback is here because this is the same quarterback that beat Patrick Mahomes, by the way. It's the same quarterback that went towards the end of the season went 3-1 against the AFC West. This is the same quarterback that now has a lot of talent around him. So yes, he may not be the Jaden Daniels of the world, and he may not be Tom Brady, and he may not be Aaron Rodgers. But when you got a team around you, all you need is a decent quarterback. You don't even need an excellent quarterback. And I will always say this: that Patrick Mahomes makes everybody around him better. That's obvious. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, and he's one of the best in the league, believe it or not, as much as I hate it. But at the end of the day, bro, he makes everybody better. In our team, everybody around the quarterback makes the job easier for the quarterback. And that's why I believe 11 wins. It just means realistic and stuff like that. But yeah.
Also, also,
Oh, yeah,
also
go
when
ahead.
you get it, also when you get a chance, go ahead and hear what the QB coach says about that quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Are you playing it?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say that. I like our quarterback, but he did not beat Mahomes. Our defense did that, and that exactly proves my point. And the team around him is better, so he will win. I mean, the whole talk. See, this is what I don't get right. Back then was, oh, Derek Carr couldn't win. He has a win-loss record, a lot of losses. He sucks. Yada yada yada. It's not the team. It's his fault. What are we doing? Win losses. But now we win. We give credit to the quarterback, and he gets no credit for nothing. So I don't get it. Right? At the end of the day, it proves my point that the team is better. The team got better. The team better is around him and will make the quarterback's job easier. That's the point. At the end of the day, if we win, what does it matter if the quarterback has bad play? If we win, what does it matter? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like our team is better. So why don't you think we're gonna have a better season than last year? That's my question. You feel me? I get it. We want Lamar Jackson, but even Lamar Jackson chokes in the playoffs. So I mean, you feel me? Like it's just how it is, bro. At the end of the day, um, I trust the coaching staff. Whatever they say, they say. You know, and the team got better. It's gonna make the quarterback's job easier. We don't need AOC to be Tom Brady. we don't need it to be Tom Brady. We just need him to do a decent job. In my opinion. Um, but I'm also not saying he's gonna be one of the best top 10 quarterbacks either. I'm not saying that.
I was actually going to link him to Tom Brady for a reason, because if you look at the Super Bowl winning Tom Brady, what did he have? What did he have that helped him get to all those Super Bowls? He had a good offensive line and a really good defense, and all Tom Brady had to do was not mess up and not turn the ball over. And that's what it really boils down to. When you look at that Tom Brady offense or whatever, he wasn't really throwing hella bombs down the field. He was short and intermediate, and he was hitting all of those. So that's what we're going to be asking. You know what I'm saying, of our quarterback. Don't turn the ball over. Don't, you know what I'm saying, put it in harm's way. Just move the ball up and down the field. And with all these weapons, look, pick who you want to throw it to, and they'll do the rest.
Not just the quarterback coach, but the head coach, the offensive coordinator, Marvin Lewis, and Tom Telesco. Everybody raves about AOC's accuracy and how quickly he releases the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He says, more than 6 wins, yes. 11, hell no. I hope he proves me wrong, though. Let me know your prediction, Big Tone. What you think a record prediction? At the end of the day, hey, I respect it. Some people don't like the quarterback. For me, it's a different. I look at the team as a whole, and the team just got better, and that's why I feel like it's gonna be a better season than last season. But I'm not saying Super Bowl bound either. Not at all. No Super Bowl bound from me. Not yet. Not yet. But I do say that the team got better. What you thinking, man? What you thinking as record prediction? As far as how many wins you think around there? I truly feel like the Raiders have a good team this year. We do. Kenzie's in way better shape than Mahomes. Have you seen the picture of Deuce Pelly? Should Nick Foles beat Brady in the Super Bowl, and all that he had to do was throw the ball and not fuck up. He had a good offensive line of defense to give him back the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Aiden could get around 28 TDs. If not, I will be a little bit disappointed unless we win 11. But if he gets 28, we should win 11 and probably the division. That's the thing, right? I'm not expecting him to throw I think this is the point, right? And it kind of breaks down the roster itself, right? You bring in guys like Devontae Adams, obviously years ago, and Devontae Adams is that guy that is good at yards after catch. Jacoby Myers is good at that too. And then you bring in somebody like Brock Bowers that had over 2,500 yards. And out of those 2,500 yards, 1,500 of those yards were yards after catch. Now, what is yards after catch, if anybody doesn't know, is the quarterback gives them a 5-yard crossing route, right? Let's just say a 5-yard throw, right? He catches it, and he runs for 60 yards. That 60 yards that he ran on his own and broke tackles is the yards after catch. They brought in guys that will help the quarterback in a sense where the quarterback don't have to throw it deep every second. They could give them a 5-yard slant route and they catch it, and it's all up to the whoever's on the receiving end to get those extra yards. And that's the type of guys that they brought in. And you kind of see what they're trying to build and stuff like that. So for me, obviously, I like what they're doing. We just got to see it, right? I'm not saying AOC is going to come out and be an MVP. Hell no. I will never say that. But I will say that he just has to be good enough. And that's all we can ask for him. And he's been putting in the work. So we got to see it on the field, how he does, how he gets the playbook, and how he works with these guys, and how these guys will go about it and stuff like that. Everybody's backing him. And, whatever the coaching staff believes in, I'm going to believe in too, at the end of the day. Until they prove me otherwise, why I shouldn't trust them. But I'm hoping for a good season. That's all we could hope, right? 8 or 9 wins, but I got to see how they play week 1. I feel that, man. I feel that. I see a lot of people saying 8 or 9 wins. That's reasonable, man. I just hope we have a better season, right? That's all we could hope. I'm just hoping.
Hey, Tone, your bet is still better than what they saying about us in Las Vegas. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I think it was like 6.5. So if you a betting man, you know what I'm saying, I would suggest go ahead and put your money down and get paid. Get paid.
when people say we're not one player away, I have to agree we are zero away. Yeah, we got a team, man. You know, believe it or not, we got a team. Maybe a veteran corner in the mix, maybe bring him in. But besides that, we got a team. A defensive line, finally give Maxx Crosby help. And then on top of that, the safeties look good. The safety room looks good with young talent and talented players. I mean,
Hey, Eric,
mhm.
I was we were talking about this, and we can ask the
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
too. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about post first.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Post first, right? We talked about corner, but what else do we need? And I'm talking about need. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we need?
Besides quarterback, because I know some people are going to say quarterback. Besides quarterback, because obviously AOC and Gardner Minshew is our quarterback.
I'm fine at
Yeah, yeah,
quarterback,
yeah.
but what would you say?
Uh, this is a tough question, man.
Because even at if people say quarterback, it, quarterbacks are not flying off of the board. You know what I'm saying? At post first, post June 1st. You know what I'm saying? Like all the good quarterbacks, they're already under contract. So why are we gonna bring in a Sam Bradford, or why are we gonna bring in a, you know what I'm saying, some you know uh Josh Rosen type of quarterback? Like that ain't gonna work. So, but what would you say?
Alex Leatherwood. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Nah,
I'm just kidding. He
hey,
went to the Chargers. He
hey,
went to
hey,
the-
I
That's
can't
a
wait.
joke.
Please, Chargers, do us a favor. Go ahead and put him out there week 1, because whoever's on that side is definitely at Hometown Buffet, Golden Corral, CC's Pizza. You know what I'm saying? All you can eat restaurants. Hey, I'm about to open up a new franchise. It's gonna be called Leatherwoods. It's gonna be called Leatherwoods All You Can Eat. Because if you put Leatherwood out there, whoever that defensive end is definitely gonna eat.
Yeah, shout out to Carl. What's good, Carl? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Drive safe, Dark. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you, man. Able says 8 or 9. Um, Carr wasn't the same after 2016 injury. That's a fact. Let him try be the best. Have faith in AOC. That's all we could do, right? Have faith in the guy. I think we win 9 games with Minshew and 6 and 8 games with AOC. Hey, I gotta respect it. And at the end, we all got. Hey, we hope that they exceed expectations, right? For some of you guys, I hope they exceed it. Carr became very shy. Shout out to Sinister. Super Bowl now. The question for this team, I believe AOC has an amazing offense built around him, and we do have a D that could do it. Know what the D can do. My bad. Pause. No Diddy, right? But I will say that as far as the Super Bowl, the only reason why I don't say Super Bowl bound is because I'm the type of guy in general to walk before striding, right? I want to take a step forward first and then continue to take steps forward. And the first step forward is obviously playoffs and playoff win. That's the step forward. Once that happens, then Super Bowl bound, right?
Yeah.
But that's the type of person I am when I look at things. That's the only reason why I say it's not like I'm saying that this team is trashy and they won't make the Super Bowl, but I'm saying that I'm the type of dude to look at it as I need to step forward before I look into the future of things.
Yeah. And that's the perfect way to say it. I Anybody can make the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody lines up week 1, is because they're all hoping to get to the Super
Mm.
Bowl. But in reality, I wouldn't call us a Super Bowl team yet, for the fact that this is a team that has a good defense, but also they just got a new offense. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say a new offense is going to be able to get us into the Super Bowl. Now, if we were in a situation where we were, running that same offense for like the third or fourth year, and everybody on the team knows that, no, you know what I'm saying, it's coming in week 1 outside of the rookies, knowing the plays and everything,
Mhm.
like, okay, maybe, okay, we can really get a run. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because that's what it takes for you know what I'm saying, for the Super Bowl. The
Yeah,
Super Bowl teams are going to have a solidified defense, but even on the offensive side,
that's a fact.
everybody's been in that system for at least 2 or 3 years and has been running it.
Mhm.
So this first year of Getsy, they're all going to be trying to figure it out, and hopefully they can gel quicker than later. But I think if we keep this offense, if Getsy's here year two, you know what I'm saying, and we got our quarterback, and year three is there, then we should really be really pushing for that Super Bowl. So that's where I'm at with it. So that's why I'm not saying. I think playoffs is definitely something
Yeah,
that could be in this upcoming year, but Super
that's a
Bowl
fact.
would yeah, that's a jump.
And I feel that, sir, because I think a veteran corner is a must. I think, maybe just because I haven't been behind the scenes with the rookie corners that we got and the corners that we got already. Obviously Jack Jones, Nate Hobbs is 1 and 2, and then besides that, it's up in the air for the rest of them. Ja'Cory Bennett, we got to see how he progresses, and obviously the new rookies that we ended up gaining, like DeCamerion Richardson, and obviously MJ Devonshire, obviously another one that has potential, but at the end of the day, we have to see it on the field, right? Like you said. So for me, I think post June 1st, we will see a veteran corner come to the Raiders. I think they're being very, very slow on the process to make sure that they bring in the right person. They don't want to pull what they did with Marcus Peters, right? And obviously, this is not the same regime that brought in Marcus Peters, obviously, but I'm saying they don't want to make the same mistake like they did back then, where, somebody like me, I thought Marcus Peters was going to be a good pickup because the year previously he showed when healthy was good, but then he came over here and it shows different intentions. It showed intentions of he just wanted money. He was done. He was already gone, and he didn't want to show effort. And on top of that, with the Josh McDaniels fiasco, that could probably play a part too. But for me, obviously, they're taking their time with bringing in players because they want the right players to be here. And obviously, everybody they have brought in, from the rookies to the free agents, they have been players that scream Raider, and we didn't even know scream Raider before. And they always know something that we don't. So I
I
appreciate the coaching staff for bringing in some real talent out here.
Yeah, I think Eric, I think
Hmm.
with this organization, they're strategic, and they're also very calculated. And because of that, I believe, and this is just my belief. I'm not saying I'm in the locker room, but uh, I believe that they already have some guys that they're looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just a Stephon Gilmore guy, so I'm just going to use it in that
Yeah.
scenario. I think they already have Stephon Gilmore
Hmm.
ready to go. They're just waiting for June 1st to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And bam, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why we might see, what I'm saying, someone that first week, oh, he signed to the Raiders, because we've already been looking at him. We've just been waiting for this time to happen. I think there's a couple of guys that they might be already having a name for it, in the organization, and they're just waiting for that time to happen. Now, I'll ask you this: Do you think they're going to bring in somebody on the offensive line?
You could see
Like,
it if they don't feel too comfortable at certain positions. At,
yeah,
at certain positions, obviously right tackle. I see some people question the right tackle spot. Obviously, there are a lot of guys that haven't really proved anything yet, but have high potential. For the right tackle spot, maybe they'll bring in a right tackle. Who knows, right? I don't know who's left on the market. I have to go see. But personally, I feel like I like what we got at right tackle. I think they have so much potential. I think they could really, the competition there is gonna help each other. They're gonna help each other out in that competition and stuff like that, and boost each other's play. I like Darren Mudford. I've been a fan of Darren Mudford since we got him. I think he'll take the next step, and I'm predicting that he will be the right tackle. But if they don't feel too confident in that right tackle, they might end up signing a right tackle, a true right tackle, a veteran right tackle at that. Or maybe
mm,
they'll just give it to somebody like Pete, or a three-time Pro Bowler, a guy that played all over the line. You got to give that guy some credit too. A veteran like that. So obviously that, and then cornerback too. Obviously, I think we need to go get one, but I do feel like if they feel the defensive line makes the cornerbacks better.
mm.
And the cornerbacks are not going to be asked to do much like they did back then. Back then, they were sitting in the pocket for like 30 seconds and everybody was running all over, and the cornerbacks couldn't catch up because you're running around 30 seconds, and the wide receivers are hitting you with all these different weird ass routes because of how much time they have. So obviously, we don't got to worry about that this year. And I'm truly believing in it because as long as Malcolm Kuntz continues to progress, and obviously Christian Wilkins is going to make such a dynamic in that middle. Now you got both of the edges secured and that middle. And who knows? Maybe Tyree Wilson will take the next step. Maybe somebody else like John Jenkins will continue doing what he was doing. And that alone makes the defensive line and makes everybody behind them better. So we
Yeah.
got to see what happens. But obviously, I'm a fan of Munford. And we got to see how he progresses during the offseason to really truly see if he truly does get that right tackle spot.
Yeah, before you pull up the next comment in the chat, I'll just say this for everybody to really think about. Like, remember, just even last year at this time, what were we talking about that we needed to adjust? Add. You know what I'm saying? We were saying we needed this, we needed that, we needed that, and for us to sit here at that point a year later and just say all we need is a corner. Like that just shows you how positive we are in regards to building out this team. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I asked that question. Outside of corner, what else do we need? Because every time I look at this roster and every time I look at, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you can put some guys on the depth side or whatever, but when you start looking at our starters, it's like, man, I don't see where we need to really add anything else in regards to this team. And that just shows you where we are in progression of where we were.
It says, I think he's disagreeing about the earlier take about the cornerback. We have too much intelligence on the team, and we have too many hungry people that believe in each other and believe in the players around them that win Super Bowls. Like I said, if the coaching staff believes in what we have, I trust them. It is what it is. But as of right now, what I see it from an overview is we just need that one veteran corner. And just based on the meetings they had with certain veteran corners, it kind of seems like they want to sign a veteran corner. But I think they're being more calm about it just because they want the right person to come in. I'm pretty sure some of the conversations goes like, hey, would you be willing to come over here, play at a high level, be a very vital to this team and help out the rookies and help out the younger guys and teach them. And that's probably some of the things. Hey, what does it mean to be a Raider for you from the outside perspective? Maybe that's another question they ask, right? They're taking their time with it, right? And shout out to Vic says Simon Gilmore. Players like Maxx and Devontae are not losers, and we have the best kicker in the league. I feel that, man. George C says, I think we need a solid number 2 cornerback right now more than any other position. What do you guys think, SC Twuan? I think so, man. I think as of right now, yeah. But if, like I said, if they truly believe in what we got, man, hey, I trust it.
Hey, who knows what happens? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Preseason is definitely coming up. We don't know what the Cameron Richardson. He might he might be the shutdown corner of preseason and say, hey, we'll just roll out there with him. You know what I'm saying? And that's cheap labor. So there's a lot of ways they can go about it. Like I said, I would like for them to go for a veteran corner, but
yeah,
there's definitely competition at corner because they've brought in a lot of guys. Not only our draftees, but they've also brought in some guys from UDFAs that are definitely going to make some, hopefully are going to make some noise. And Jacorian Bennett is still on this roster too. So, jury's still out on him.
Facts, man. Because last year didn't give me really clear indication. Last year showed that he needs work. And obviously now he's got another full off season with more of a better coaching staff around him and more people that are going to believe in him and help him out if he's asking for it. We haven't heard too much about Jacorian Bennett recently. I want to hear some things about him. I just want to hear about the cornerback room to see who's learning, who's actually taking the advice and stuff like that. So far, we've seen in other areas that people have been taking each other's advice. Like, obviously, you look at Tyree Wilson with the defensive ends. He's taking advice. Malcolm Kuntz, stuff like that, still taking advice. AOC, still taking advice. Gardner Minshew talking to everybody else and helping out and stuff like that. We see all these other positions taking each other's advice. I just want to hear a little bit more about the cornerback room. Hopefully, we get a little bit of an insight on the cornerback room on how they feel about it. Shout out to Jack and said, I like to see the Raiders sign another true nose tackle. Jenkins very good, but 35 years old. Wilkins could obviously play that spot, man. I think he's capable of it. But obviously, we got to see what happens. I think there's some really good defense. I have to look into it, but some really good defensive tackles coming out in next year's draft. that I
Jack Kenner, let me answer that question for you. He is already on the roster, and that's Marquan McCall. If you go watch Marquan McCall, you'll be very satisfied with that. I think he's actually, I would say he might be a little better than John Jenkins in regards to stuff in the run. But and this is the exciting thing about it is when we get to those goal line situations and we need someone to really clog up the middle, you can put Jenkins on one side and put Marquan McCall on the opposite side, and good luck trying to run up the middle. Marquan McCall is a defensive nose tackle that a lot of people are not talking about, but he is a monster in the middle of that defensive line. So go ahead and check him out.
mm. The Rush has some awesome lately Adams, and they got me pumped up. I haven't seen the Nate Hobbs one. I have to go see the Nate Hobbs one. I have not seen that one. I'll probably watch it after. Um, Obviously, shout out to everybody, man. He says Wagner and Mumford show. Hey, I feel like, man, the competition there is going to be good. Um, I just believe in this young cornerback room will do just fine because they're not going to have to cover 6, 7, 8 seconds like they have in the past. These quarterbacks aren't going to have time to pick them apart. That's a fact, man. Just for me, I would like to see a veteran corner. Obviously, like I said, I believe in whatever they believe in. And if you believe in the cornerback room, then I believe in the cornerback room, right? And I'm not calling any of the players on the cornerback room trash. I like the players that we picked up. I like the rookies that we brought in. The more and more I've seen film from them, the more I've seen what route they're going in that aspect. You brought a really good tackler at that cornerback position, and then another one that could cover and has a high potential and has multiple interceptions in a season. So you're bringing two different types of guys that could help that cornerback room. Obviously, a rookie, and then obviously you look at the people that are coming back, right? Ja'Cory Bennett has high potential, needs work, but obviously he's got an off season. And then obviously you got Nate Hobbs, obviously, and then Jack Jones that we all know could bring in. We all know what they're capable of, man. And Jack Jones, man, he's gonna progress even more, man, because he wants to be here. And he's been one of the loudest in the room, benefiting us and being proud of being a Raider, man. And that's the type of guys you want in the locker room. And that's a guy that I've been raving about. And me and Twuan have been raving about since the beginning of his draft process. We said he was a sleeper, and we continue to say he's a sleeper. And it sucked that he had to go somewhere else. And then it sucks that he had to go somewhere else. But I'm glad that he became a Raider eventually, man, because that was somebody that I've been raving about. Which actually, if you guys don't know, I mean, there's a video out there. I kind of showed it on one of my lives recently that I was talking about the sleepers when he was a sleeper, and it's good to see him being a Raider, man. Jacobs is not that smart when now it knows the person at least DC tried to kiss Crosby's ass, and they all mentioned. Maxx is a super athlete. I think he'll be okay if he hits a little cigar smoker. You guys talk about the cigar and stuff like that. I don't know, man. The guy's just having fun. That's what he does. We got to see. But I think he's out there still putting in work, putting in cardio, stuff like that. So that's good. Breaking news, Ja'Cory Bennett has been spotted jogging more at 11. But yeah, I think that's pretty much, I mean, what I could think of. I mean, yeah, I think that's all the topics. I mean, is there anything that I'm missing? Anything that you could think of the top of your head?
I'm the Jack Jones.
Mhm.
We the Jack Jones over here. We the Jack Jones fans, but you know, they're talking about how Jack Jones is hype and he's over there talking his trash, and I think he has a he. I mean, he continues to have a chip on his shoulder, in regards to him being the top corner. I think he actually believes that he's that guy. I think he thinks he believes he's him, and we're going to let him do that. I think we're going to allow him to do that. I think even Marvin Lewis had to laugh, when they talked about
Mhm.
Jack Jones, just in the fact that they know that Jack Jones is going to, he's going to talk, but he means well. And even Jack Jones said it. He's like, they understand that I'm in good spirit when I talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this defense. I think, I would like to hear a little bit from Antonio Pierce, but
Mhm.
that's just me being picky. But this June 1st, man, it's gonna be interesting because there's gonna be names, and you guys also. I'll say this too: look out, because obviously there's gonna be writers out there that are gonna be saying stuff that ain't gonna make sense for us. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna hear that, oh, this so and so player is linked to the Raiders, and it just does not make sense.
Yeah.
Don't fall for it. You know what I'm saying? Just trust these guys and know where we're at. You know what I'm saying? I think it wouldn't be a surprising thing if we got a corner. You know what I'm saying? But anything is if a writer says we need a kicker, you can go ahead and kick that writer, you know what I'm saying, on the next Spirit flight. You know, because that you we know we got the best kicker in business.
Facts, man. Shout out to Raiderway joining us, man. And Big Tone says that's a good mentality to have, but now he has to back it up. And obviously, he did a good job last season. And now we got to see if he continues that and progresses, which he's still
Hmm.
younger, and so we got to see what happens. But I've been a believer in him, so we're gonna see what happens. But obviously, June 1st, right around the corner, man. So stay tuned for more. There's gonna be a lot of news next week, man. I already could tell. Just if it's rumors or they signed somebody. Shout out to Jack Hanna. I'm not sure if I saluted you, but shout out to Jack Hanna. I don't know if it's gonna be rumors. I mean, obviously it's gonna be rumors, and there's also gonna be probably some more press conferences, maybe, or even in general, maybe we make some moves that happens that helps our team even more, right? Um, so I'm happy. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens. Again, another thing too is training camp is happening very, very soon. Let me actually find the dates exactly when it starts because I believe they are right around the corner. Let me see. There we go.
Because don't they
So
get like a week or two off or something like that?
yeah, so here it is. So obviously we're at May 30th, which obviously they had OTAs yesterday and the day before. And then again, they have OTAs off-season workouts again, June 3rd through the 6th, which I believe that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And then they take a week and a half off, and then mandatory mini camp happens June 11th through the 13th, where we really see some hard-nosed competition happening at the offseason. So June 11th through the 13th is mandatory minicamp. And then obviously, again, they have OTAs on June 3rd through the 6th next week. More press conference, obviously. So we'll see what happens. Who do you guys want them to sign first? A cornerback. I think we both agree on the cornerback to make it easy. But Twuan, let them know where they can find you, stuff like that, man. For everybody that's on my channel, stuff like that, man, and new here.
Yeah. Everybody that's on the wonderful channel of the SE Raiders Talk, come on over to RaiderTwuan and subscribe. I'm on my way to 500 subscribers. And again, if we get there by week 1, a lucky subscriber will win a pair of black Air Forces. So definitely go ahead and put your bid in by subscribing to RaiderTwuan. I believe I'm 20 away from 400, and then we're gonna make a mad blitz from now. We're on our way to 500, so definitely put it in. For those that are on the, like I said, SE Raiders Talk, I know you guys are over there, but come on over to RaiderTwuan and just hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. I just dropped a video on our quarterback room. I talked about all our quarterbacks, what I see in regards to our quarterbacks and the flavors that we have in that quarterback room, and also who I believe is going to be our starter. And then next week, hopefully next week, I will be dropping another video because, believe it or not, there's actually a college that is actually at the Raiders. So I'll be letting you know what college that is next week. So stay tuned for what college that is next week. Tuesday afternoons, probably around this time, around the 3 o'clock hour, I will be dropping that video on the college that is at the Raiders. So you do not want to miss that. I go live Tuesdays, and then I'm here on Thursdays for the 2 for 1 Nation podcast. And then I do random lives with other content creators, and those content creators that want me to be on their channel. You can always hit me up on IG at Twuan, TWUAN. If I have the time, I will make it for whatever you guys got going on your channel. So hit me up on IG if you want a guest.
Shout out to you guys. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. I always forget. Please be an organ donor. Please be an organ donor. If you want that information, that's always in the description of all my videos and lives. And I always close out my videos and lives by saying, you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else.
Shout out to Egalitarian Man, and shout out to AR here. She says, who do you want them to definitely get rid of before the season starts? Nobody. I like the competition here.
Let me think about that one. Nah, I will say Andre James, but
nah, I would get rid of no.
We can't do that. We can't do that
Facts,
this year.
man.
But next year he can be on the next Spirit flight.
For me, I like the competition that's across the board, man. I can't wait to see what they do during the camps, man, coming soon. And of course, for me, Tuesdays, Thursdays, every week. Thursdays, obviously, 2 for 1 Nation podcast, 3:15 Pacific Standard Time, 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Tuesdays, my individual show, 6 p.m. I'm gonna change it to 6:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I will be live. That will be June 2nd, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or June 3rd, actually. Let me actually double check that. I don't want to get the wrong date here. Okay, actually, yes, the 4th of June. The 4th of June, live again, Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll really appreciate you guys for coming on in, man. I appreciate all the love and support, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and you guys already know how I always end it off. Blessings to you guys and your families. Tough time never lasts, but tough people do, and you guys are some tough people, man. And again, life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them. And much love to everybody, man. All the support that everybody came across today. And if you guys like what you see, subscribe for more Raider content, and also hit that Instagram as well. Nightbot has been dropping it, and also join the Discord eventually during the season. We will get that Discord popping. I got to talk to a couple of people to see how to get it popping, because we got to get it popping once the season starts, so we could talk about the Raiders pre-game. Maybe it's a 10 a.m. game. We're talking at it at 8 or 9 in the morning to see 1 p.m. maybe after the game. Let out your frustrations and whenever I go live. But most importantly, the IG is where you want to be. So shout out to everybody, man. Of course, you already know how we ended off here. Hold on. Let me play it again. Here you go. Let me do it one more time. You know, it just feels good. This was another 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man, with my boy RaiderTwuan and yours truly, SC Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, and we are out. Have a good one, y'all. Blessings. Peace.
Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You will not.